This is episode 106 of the Morse Code podcast. This is the 106 in Park anniversary episode.
All
A
right.
very, very topical reference, I'm sure, for people who are 30 and over. But anyways, today should be a lot of fun. You're gonna notice that Dan isn't here, wasn't able to make it. I fired him. We'll talk about that later on the show. But in his place, we've got from the Discord, Mr. at Cash Fiend.
What's up? What up, everybody?
How we doing, bro?
Always good, man. We woke up. It's a big deal. It's a win to start off the day.
That's right. Damn, I need to start looking at things a little more positively in that case.
Yeah, I mean, it's a like, I don't know what the odds are. Like, it takes a lot of things to go right to wake up every day, right? Like,
That's true. It takes a lot of things to go right to be born and exist in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it.
It like infinitesimal odds that you're like here.
So yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for today.
Man, Ramadan got me spiritually full right now, man.
Yeah.
Like brimming with positivity and appreciation.
I feel like you were just the guy I needed on a Wednesday morning to get me through hump day. This is the kind of positivity that I need. You're like an advent calendar right now.
Oh, wait, let's go.
But yeah, we got you, and we got another special guest, which I'm gonna bury the lead. We won't introduce him until he hops on. So
yeah, let's bury it.
But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with Tyler I Am's Discord, Cash Fiend and I are both in there. That's how we kind of became introduced to each other, follow each other on Twitter. All right, do you have the same username on Twitter or no?
Yeah, on everything.
Okay.
Like Twitter, Instagram at Cash Fiend.
So check him out there, aka.
Not only are we in the Discord, we are an elite company. Like you're bearing the lead there. We're close personal friends.
Speak on it.
Of Mr. How many time ham champion is it now?
Dude, I lost count. Count. You could say 5.
Like Shang-Chi and the 10 rings of the ham championship. Tyler I Am's Discord.
Yeah.
The close personal friends group, or as us close personal friends call it, the CPFs. Very official. It's a magical place. It's just like a ton of dope people from a million different backgrounds, a million different stories. Everyone's hilarious. Everyone's like, I don't know, like respectfully like getting after each other. They're like serious bouts of horniness. But I'm usually
it gets purple in there for sure.
It gets purple in there. It's just like, it's a great, I like to say, like distillation of like the internet. It's exactly the stuff I want to see at all times. There's no like real having to fill it. It's like, oh, I don't want to, well, like what's going on in this conversation? I do feel old because sometimes I'm not as active as I want to be. And like people will be having like long conversations about, I don't know, like some inside joke or like the voice chat. And I'll be like, what? Can someone please explain it to me? Hi, please. I'm old. Please, I don't know what's going on. And Feeney is always great about like, that's my boy. I always talk to off the chat offline.
Yeah.
That's my guy. He's always like happy to fill me in.
Dude, I had the same relationship with at least, especially in the beginning, Diggy was like that for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask him about, I think it was the voice chat. I'm trying to think.
Still don't know what that is. I still have no, like, I'm just in the CFP and like you guys have DJ contests. Like it gets cracking in there. Like it's a tight place.
All right. Now I can feel good about myself because I can explain the voice chat to someone else.
Hey.
Yeah, no big deal. I'm flexing for the audio listeners of the show. Yeah, it's just exactly what it says it is. It sounds like it'd be chaotic because there's sometimes essentially you go in there because you want to speak vocally rather than in typed out text. But I don't know. They just go in there for, hey, you guys want to stream this movie and talk about it while we watch it? So I think they did that for the King Kong Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
And there'd be like, yeah, 10
that's
to
a great
15
movie to
people in
want
there.
to. Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
it's awesome. I mean, if you're just into watching dope CGI monsters fight each other, like I am, I think they executed it perfectly. It's
Yeah.
just minimal like plot development, minimal character stuff, other than like really silly exposition. I was like, some people like call it like someone called out like a round winner of a battle. It was just like really funny. Like people don't talk like that.
Minimal dialogue between the creatures themselves.
But no, between the people and so like the characters. Like I don't want like I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what was her name? Millie Bobby Brown. I don't know what the point was. But it was awesome.
All right.
Like,
I'm gonna have to
I
check
won't
that
ruin
out.
it for you. I won't spoil it. I'm sure you've seen what happens on the internet, but
I actually haven't. So because I look
you're
at,
in for it.
all right. I know between that and what's the other one?
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat. Another one that
I
I
saw
like.
that
I
too.
never watched as
Fire.
a kid. So you were a fan?
Yeah, I'm not like a super fan, but I just saw it's really funny. My wife is a super fan. She like loves Mortal Kombat. She's like a weeb. She really likes like Japanese culture and like
Mhm.
manga and anime and stuff. She was like super into Mortal Kombat, and she was like, "Yeah, we got to watch this." I was like, "Yeah, like I'm in." uh, Again, exactly what I wanted.
How do you feel
Just
about? No, sorry. Go ahead.
no, it was exactly what just fights, just ridiculous like blood and gore, and like completely outlandish. There's a
I've heard
storyline.
worse.
It's hilarious. It it's a good time.
All right.
We watched that instead of the Oscars, which I think was fitting.
Yeah, I would say that you made the right choice because I didn't watch the Oscars either. But I'm just, I don't know. They did that from the train station, didn't they?
Did
I
they?
think.
I have no clue other than what people were mad about racism again because it's the Oscars.
Yep.
Which like if you're gonna be mad about that, I don't think tuning into the Oscars is gonna help you feel better about it or fix the problem. So
Mm-mm.
don't yell at me. I'm on your team. No one's on the other side of this issue. Like,
Yeah. Um. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check those movies out. How do you feel about movies right now, at least, still coming out to HBO Max? Like, what is it? They give it a week or two in the theaters. Although some of them come directly to HBO Max, but then
yeah,
some of the bigger hits will like hit theaters and then HBO Max. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, I like it. I really enjoy not having to be around a ton of people. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, it's been a terrible year for a lot of people, for society as a whole. I
Something
really,
happen?
yeah, I don't know. I haven't left my house. I wouldn't be able to tell you if anything happened. It just like the emphasis on personal space has been incredible. I just love that it's no longer socially, it's like really, really not socially acceptable to get in my bubble.
Yeah.
Like it's fantastic.
I'm with you on that.
I'm not a big crowds guy. I don't like I'm not a big like club packed bar person.
Mhm.
You know, like it's just he has a breathing on me. Don't breathe on me. You know, I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm getting your why are you sweating on me? Sweat on yourself.
Yeah, please don't sweat on me. It's like remember in high school people like like sweats like pee. It's like well your sweat's on me, bro. Like get your sweat off me. We're not playing a sport. I'm not gonna be able to shower right after this. Like don't sweat on me.
Yeah. I I don't care what the science is behind it. I'd still rather you not sweat on me, even if it is indeed
100%.
like pee.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a feather in Sweat's cap to be like
It
pee.
absolutely isn't. Or containing a little bit, like, I don't need it. No one need, like, just don't sweat on me.
I'm good. I don't know. I do miss going to the movies. Like I do like going to the movies. And I think I mean around here, so we're both from New England, by the way.
Hmm.
I'm definitely further from Boston than you are, but like I had a movie theater that's right by me that closed down. It was part of, you familiar with Cinemagic? Have you heard
It
of that
sounds
chain at all?
familiar.
Yeah, they got, they have a bunch around here, but the one right by me closed, which sucks. But yeah, I'm looking forward to when it's at least acceptable to be at a movie theater again.
Hmm.
And I'll decide whether or not I want to go back.
Yeah.
I think concerts, if done correctly, could be like kind of dope when they're allowed to be back. Because I don't know if you've seen the video. This is like early last summer where it was
Of
a video of
the blocked off,
the
like,
pods.
the pods, that's sick. I would love to
Oh,
do that. Oh my god. Just me, my people, and I don't have to deal with,
yeah, I don't want to dance with
like,
strangers anyways.
oh, I like, I mean, I feel like I'm like, feel we're sounding a little old. I'm just like, oh, get off, like, but
No, we both
it's,
are.
we are like, the reason we sound like that is because we are. And I just, like, I'm not interested in that anymore. It's just, I like, just me and my people have a good time in a pod. Don't need to deal with people. Like, oh, that sounds magical.
Oh man, it looks so awesome because I don't think it could have been executed any better. And I can't remember exactly where that was. I know it was in Europe. It was in a country where um, they decided to like take things seriously sooner and more seriously.
Hmm.
And so the pods were like, they were kind of raised platforms, right? Each one was raised, and you essentially had, chairs and like almost dinner tables to yourself at a concert. So it's, and there was plenty of space outside of the table for you to just kind of like move around and dance around, just a good old fashioned good time, and it looked sick. So hopefully if that's somehow the norm here, but I don't know how they would execute that in an arena with like, you know, seating that's already there unless they just start
Yeah.
not allowing full capacity.
Though, like, the second you're allowed to have full capacity, even if it's not safe, they're gonna have full, like,
Yeah.
Texas. Like, they're just like, we're open. Like, all right, guys. Like, cool, 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 cool. I have my cousin who's like, pretty much a brother. Like, he's from Texas and he lives in Texas. And I'm just like, are you guys okay? Are you okay? And he's like, I don't know, like, what we're gonna be able to do. And he's just like, I gotta, like, go with it. It's like, there's nothing you can do, right? Like, you have to exist in society somehow, and that's tough.
I was surprised because I thought that Texas was the only place that was already, that gung ho about their freedoms. But then last night I was watching Sports Center. I saw highlights of the Braves game. I don't know what
Hmm.
their capacity limit is, but um, Ronald Acuna hit a 480-foot home run.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
I haven't done that in years. And well, it was. I mean, it was hit so far that the camera angle had to like zoom out quite a bit to show where it landed. And did you see? It looked like it wasn't full capacity, but it looked like 75% of the bleachers
It
were
looked
full.
pretty close. It looked pretty close. There's a lot of people.
It looked like maybe they were allowing full capacity, but this is how many people would attend a Braves home game. And I was like, God damn, like that's a lot of people.
It's
Tyler,
also Tyler. Yeah, why? It's come to find out Tyler's at that game.
I think he was the one throwing out the first pitch. That's how they introduced him, the ham champ.
Oh man.
It was crazy though. It definitely looked like a game from 2019.
That's terrifying.
But it is what it is. And we were talking about this
I,
before we got on the air about you and I are both fully vaxxed. Are you Pfizer fam?
well, Pfizer, yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But we're not. There's no pores, no pores on this chat.
No, no, there's definitely money on this show.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe too
Um,
much. I mean, we should scale it back a little bit, man.
yeah.
Put a target on our backs.
uh, to, tell me a little bit about how shot number 2 went for you. We'll compare experiences.
Shot number 2. I felt fine for like, I think I got it at like 7 p.m. Felt fine till like 11, and I made the mistake of like falling asleep on the couch, and I woke up in the middle of the night, just uh felt terrible, just like feverish, couldn't move. I have like a very old knees as it is, and it felt like I could feel like the bones grinding on each other. Um, but it was for 36 hours, and then it's like at the 36-hour mark, it like stopped. Like I felt 100% better. It was like I think it was like the software update finished,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, and just ready to go. Like things were like slow, it's using up a lot of CPU, and then it's like, all right, now we're back. Like,
Yeah, swipe up to start using your iPhone.
yeah. I have been like more forgiving to my work PC. Like I usually have more. I have a ton of Apple stuff, but my work like laptop is like this HP, and I didn't know I've been like nicer to it. I mean, like, maybe it's like Windows 10. It's not that bad. Like I can
Hmm.
snap to like, I don't know.
You
It
getting at
did.
something?
I mean, I'm just saying it happened. I started having nicer things to say about PCs after I got my second dose.
That's interesting.
I'm just saying.
I haven't seen any scuttlebutt on the internet about, what are the possible effects of the vaccination. But so you may be the first to bring this
Have you
up.
seen that Microsoft like Duo phone that flips open like a
Yeah,
book? That's pretty sick.
that is sick.
I don't know. It does flip open.
It, I could see myself ditching my iPhone now. I wouldn't have said this weeks ago.
I 100%. I would never even considered it. I would have blocked it if I saw that ad on my time. But now I'm just like,
Hmm.
it's like a book. That's it.
If it folds, I'm
It
sold.
folds. I like trinkets in my tech like that. Just like what's a little unnecessary thing that we absolutely like doesn't improve anything that looks cool.
Yeah, make me excited about something stupid,
Yeah.
please.
Like I think the reason I like Apple stuff so much is it's just like it's mostly solid chrome. This shit is sick. Like, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. All right, so
How
pretty
about
much
you? How was your
it's pretty similar. So I got it on Saturday. I got it Saturday around 2 in the afternoon. And it was funny the way that they had it set up. It was in a grocery store. And so when you walk out or when you walk up to the entrance of the store, they had someone kind of manning a desk where you fill out. Again, I don't understand why I had to do the questionnaire on my phone before I got there. And then when I got there, I had to fill out another form with that very same questionnaire. That was very cool.
like you're applying for a job online?
Yeah, I was like, did I make it? Like, am I good? So then they send you inside after you fill that out. And the room where I actually got the shot was the room where you'd find like the gumball machine or newspaper or like the real estate fucking flip book magazines, like your local real estate agency. And it was funny because there was still someone manning a desk in there to let you know that the pharmacists behind you were ready to go. And that person was sat right in the way of, when you go into a grocery store, there's an entrance and there's an exit. but those doors are there's like a bar, like a metal bar right in the middle. So anytime that the cart guys are trying to get the carts in, they have a very specific lane
Oh
in which they
no.
can operate. And this lady, that was where she was kind of posted up. So I'm trying to be like, yeah, hey, I'm good. Like I'm ready. But then this guy with like 20 carts was trying to get by me. But this woman was also still trying to take my information as if she didn't see the cart guy. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'll be out of your way in just a sec. This is very awkward for all of us. So yeah, I got it around like 2. I felt good for most of the day, and I stay up pretty late. I went to bed around 1 or 2. I was fine. When I woke up, probably around 10 the next morning, I also fell asleep on my couch. I was in hell for a good 18 to 24 hours. I felt like I had the flu, like achy, tired. Did you have cold sweats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cold sweats are the worst. Talk about
It
a
doesn't.
disgusting all-time
The
feeling.
devil was in its bag and came up with cold sweats, man. Like,
I was
just
gonna say,
uh, uh how am I gonna be drenched and freezing?
that's like having a runny and stuffy nose at the same time. I couldn't imagine.
You talk about hell, man. Oof.
But yeah, same experience. Felt like I had the flu, but then right as the time hit and the update completed, I saw the bar filled up, and I restarted, and it was like I blacked out. I was like, I don't remember the last 24 hours, but I'm good, so I don't
Yeah.
no need to dwell on it.
Yeah, it's insane how it's just like there's no like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit better, gradual. It's just like this, like, I am going to die. And then like, oh no, I'm like 100% fine.
Yeah.
Like I could run a 5. I would never run a 5K, but like that was the feeling.
It was weird, but glad to be fully indoctrinated to the Pfizer fam. So
Shout out to Germany. Appreciate your engineering.
yeah. I appreciate your P's coming before your F's for sure. That's a strong move. That's when it's like, yeah, we're ignoring like linguistic norms.
Yeah. No. It's our language. We'll put a P where we feel like it.
Yeah.
How about that?
We got this. All right. So that was vaccine talk. More importantly,
baby.
yeah, vaccine talk Wednesday, baby. More importantly, this is a sports show, or that's what we tell people. And the sport that we cover and the team that we like to talk about is the Celtics. They haven't given us much reason to speak highly of them this year and last night.
Jaylen gets buckets.
Jaylen does get buckets, and
he plays hard on defense again. His knee looks good. That's about where the positives start.
That's about it, right?
There. Yeah. Peyton Pritchard can hoop a little bit. That was nice.
He likes putting the ball in the basketball ring, as Ted Cruz likes to call it. Do you remember that a few years ago? He called it a ring.
Yeah, motherfucker. That guy fucking sucks, man.
Big time.
They hate possessing the basketball when it's their turn to possess it. They readily relinquish the ball to the other team when they're not supposed to.
I think they're just being unselfish.
The comrade Celtics is the communist Celtics.
Yeah,
they are redistributing their wealth to the fucking Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, let's
sick, dude.
Last night's game. Yeah, we were the slump busters. We were the chick that they just met at a bar and they were ready to whatever happens because we're on a cold streak. They were on a 14-game losing streak.
They had just gotten broken up with 14 straight times.
Yep. Many of those times painful, where they thought, oh, this could end successfully. and then still nope, broken up. You're getting dumped. I'll never call you
Yeah,
again.
it's just horrible to be that person. I know the Celtics pack is just flooding the streets, and I hate to see it. It's just terrible.
Oh, the highest pack.
It's going up. People have been waiting for it. We lost to the goddamn Thunder, man. That's grade A smoke right there. It's top
Yeah,
notch.
that was tough because like obviously with OKC being, do they have the worst record in the league, or is it still the T-Wolves?
I think it's still the T Wolves, right? The T Wolves won like one game in the last year.
Yeah.
Like,
Either
it
way,
might have been against the Celtics, to be completely honest with you.
probably.
I think it was.
I'm sure
Did
Anthony
we beat
Edwards
them?
dunked Grant Williams like through the court.
No, let's not slander my burly boy. my burly boy, who for some reason Celtics fans treat like he was a second overall pick. It's just like he makes smart defensive rotations and sometimes a jump shot. Like what do you don't expect like Draymond Green out of him.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say that I'm a guilty party of the slander crew, only because, not specifically for like, I'm not going to knock his everyday play, but some of the bloopers, like basically like Shackton moments.
He bloops because he tries, because he's not afraid to make mistakes. You
That's
know,
true.
like that. You're gonna put yourself in, like, you're gonna get dunked on if you try to defend like someone trying to dunk on you. It's just what happens. And when you're like 6'4", because ain't no way Grant Williams is 6'8" with
No.
the no. He tries hard, and in the right setting is a useful player. You're not gonna, like, if you're asking him to play 25 minutes a game and be a super important contributor, like, you're gonna get what you're asking him to do.
Yeah.
But as
Yeah.
like a spot defender on less mobile bigs, and as a good switcher, like, and a good person as like a offensive lever, like, yeah, he's good for like 15 like strong minutes of high energy basketball. But you put him on an island against Isaiah Roby, and you're gonna get bad. You're and it's gonna go badly, you know? Like, fuck.
I picture Grant as getting hired by, like, are you familiar with Chris Brickley?
Yeah.
Just getting hired by Chris Brickley, or I see him tagged in one of those videos and it's like, wait, he's working out with it? No, he's not working out
No,
with
no,
it.
no.
He's just hired as the defender in
Mhm.
these situations.
When Steph hit that corner three in Grant's face, it was like, what what more can you do? Like, his biggest sin is that he's in position to have these ridiculous things happen to him over and over.
I think that speaks to the Celtics, honestly, because
Yeah.
it's like, well, you do need more of this. Otherwise, you're going to end up with you're going to end up putting Grant in tough situations that he's not meant to be there to be guarding Steph, first of all. And with him, Grant's played a lot of minutes, and that's because Celtics can't stay healthy. So I think, like you were saying, like when you put him in for 10, 15 minutes, I think he's great. But then when you have to rely on him for 25 minutes, it's tough, because eventually, like, he's going to find himself in a mismatch or trying his ass off, but he's going to be in kind of a compromising situation because he's not meant for that. So yeah, as much as I don't think I've buried him too much on this show, but aside from the bloopers, but those only happen because of the current state of the Celtics. On a good team, that probably wouldn't happen, and we would think of him as like an important, a valuable role player.
Yeah, a great bench piece that you sprinkle in. Like, he's good at certain matchups. Like I said, he's Like the reason he ends up on Steph is because he's switchable, because he moves his feet well enough, and he's got great defensive instincts. It's like why you put him in that position, but it just never seems to like come all together for him, which is sad because I think he's a hardworking kid. I think he's talented enough to be like a useful NBA player for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think there's any doubt about that, but it's just the role isn't right, and it's by necessity, right? Like I don't think they want Grant playing 25 minutes a game.
Right.
Rob, this is the question. I love Rob, but I feel like the question we're always going to be having with him is like, when's Rob going to be healthy fully? You know, he just plays such a like a flubber style game of basketball. You know, like he's just like bouncing everywhere that I worry about his knees and his hips, so that he already has problems with.
I get concerned because it's something that when I notice it, I'm like, in any player when of his height and size, to be as upright as he is at all times. Like he's straight up and down. He's 6'11". He uses all 6'11" at all times. Like he doesn't really get into a defensive stance, more or less. Like when he's chasing guys around picks, or if he gets, I don't know, mismatched on a pick onto a guard or something, Rob is still standing straight up at a 90-degree angle. And I'm like, that just, when you fall, you're going to fall far. And he hits the ground a lot because of his style of play. His athleticism kind of lends him towards those types of plays anyways. Like I think the injury happened on an alley-oop. I want to say
the Celtics shouldn't throw alley-oops.
No, never.
I think they should be banned. Like, I don't, unless like, honestly, unless it's to Rob, like I don't think they should. Just only bad things happen to the Celtics when they throw alley-oops.
Yeah, if they want to like bounce an alley-oop to themselves, all right, fine. Like
Backboard,
Jaylen,
use the backboard.
yeah, Jaylen, you want to get a little extra sauce on this one? Go for it. But I don't want anyone throwing one to you because you're far too valuable for us to lose you on. If people forget, an alley-oop is still only worth 2 points, right?
Yeah.
We checked that right before we started recording.
I know that there was some draft legislation in the works, but I don't know. I think it might get vetoed.
Yeah. So as of today, April 28th, those are only worth 2 points. So let's not injure ourselves over that.
For the love of God. Like every time Jaylen goes down now, I'm just like, my heart's in my throat. Because like we're at a point where the Celtics, like if you're defending the Celtics, as long as Jaylen or Jason doesn't take the shot, you're like pretty happy with the possession, right? And that's not good. That's like,
that is not good for us.
It's not like, it's awesome that we have two guys who can go get you 25 to 30 whenever they want, but you can only win with that if people around them can score. And if Kemba wants to not shoot 38% from the field, that would be sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only so long that this is sustainable for, and it hasn't been sustainable because they're basically a 500 team under this current model. I was saying last night, and I think I've said this to Dan before, RIP to Dan, because I fired him.
Damn. It's at will employment, man. You get it.
But yeah, I was saying I think that the Celtics need a pass first point guard. I think that they need someone to really help facilitate the offense, because otherwise it's like Jaylen and JT at least aren't there yet where they're great. They're great one-on-one players. I think they're getting their teammates involved better this year than any of the previous years, and they've definitely made like big improvements there. But I still think for now, I think we need someone to help distribute and lighten the load on those guys so that they don't have to go ISO to get their 25 a game. Like, let's get them
I
some
hate,
easy buckets.
yeah, I hate, like, I think it's like a Scal talking point that he has. I hate parroting Scal because I don't know, he just frustrates me. But he mentioned like the Jaylen and Jason don't get enough easy buckets. Like, and that's the thing that when you're like a high level, high volume scorer, you need those to like mentally get going, get charged up, and get into your groove. And we don't like. Did Brad Stevens stop running offense? Did I just notice this year that he doesn't run offenses, or have the rest of the Celtics, whenever Jaylen and Jason have the ball, do they just sort of like, I'm not gonna make this cut that I'm supposed to off this read because Jason's gonna take a fadeaway here, or Jaylen's going to the hoop. I'm not gonna. It just seems like the play concepts like run up against each other. Like I'm never sure what they're trying to get accomplished.
You don't consider the pass the ball around the arc 3 or 4 times and then launching a contested three. That's not a high powered offense to you.
I mean, it is ball movement. There's no doubt about it. The ball has moved.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like. There's no arguing that.
It's
It's just
frustrating
like
to watch.
like they'll set a high pick and roll, and then nothing will happen, and then like the roll man will just get the ball back and they'll just do it again. Nothing will happen. Someone frantically passes out to a corner covered shooter who then launches it off the side of the backboard. And then there's Evan Fournier, and I don't want to talk about Evan Fournier because I have to get back to work at some point. I can't get back to work with that level of blood pressure. What did Tyler say? Imagine being a sports fan. This is so dumb.
Yeah, I'm starting to see his point. I'm going to get out after the 12 whatever championships I think we've had in this city. And
the only New England sports team that I like are the Celtics. I'm not a Patriots fan.
oh, really?
So I don't get any of those. I'm not really a baseball like. I follow the Red Sox when they're doing well, but I don't really.
Fair enough.
Like, I was a big time Pedro Manny guy, like back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, just like cool. Like when you see cool, you're attracted to cool. Like you want to see the cool players do cool shit. But I'm a stupid sports fan. I'm a Cowboys fan and a Celtics fan, and it's just I'm just coming to grips with the idea that I don't necessarily like myself that much. I clearly don't value my happiness as I continue to do this.
You certainly don't. You're just putting yourself through torture for very little payoff, if any.
Little. There's no payoff. What payoff? I had a conversation this morning with my buddy about third round linebacker prospects for the Cowboys. Like my life is terrible. Like what am I doing? that's not something a happy, healthy person does. Like I won't even tell my wife I had that conversation because I feel like she would get worried. She'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about third round middle linebackers for at 7 a.m.?
Yeah, should we see someone about this? Should we see some counseling?
Yeah, probably.
What number pick do you guys have?
10. There's been my buddy, like obviously all my friends are like so many of my friends are Patriots fans, and they've been tossing around the Justin Fields stream for the Patriots. If he falls for some reason, racism.
Heard this.
That if he falls to 10, I was like, I'll just give us Gilmore in a second round pick and he's all yours. That should not come through a happy, healthy person's mind. Like that train of thought is not a good thing. Like my neuron, like my synapses shouldn't fire to form those thoughts if I were a happy or a healthy person, which I'm clearly not.
Nevertheless, here we are.
Here we are. So I'm a big JC Horn fan, right?
No, I did see today. This morning was the first time that I'd heard of that rumor. The Gilmore to the Cowboys for us to move up, which I would be fine with. I would be more than fine with that. But Belichick would do that
The
and not take Fields. He'll take like a fucking
long
nose tackle
snapper.
or something. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. Just does Stephon Gilmore's leg work? Do we know if he can walk?
Is that really important? Come on, you guys are asking the tough questions.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Does the money work?
Yes.
more importantly, does the money work?
Would he be happy in the greater Dallas Fort Worth area?
I mean, there's no state income tax. I think he would appreciate not having that baseline like the 6.5% taken off. Massachusetts takes.
Yeah. Yeah, being a sports fan is something that I question. I've been questioning more recently, but things
I
are
love
turning around.
sports for sure. Like I love like the details and like the strategy of like football. I love like the pure athleticism and artistry of basketball. I'm a big time cricket guy.
Oh,
I love cricket. I almost for high school, for middle school and high school, I almost went to a cricket academy in Australia. I was
oh shit.
accepted into this cricket academy. But I didn't want to go to Australia because I was stupid. I should have fucking done that. I could have been like an international cricketer.
Yeah.
Um,
What? I can't believe you.
I'm an idiot.
Do you know how many
There's
like cool
there's
wild animals could
reasons
have
I
attacked you?
don't. I wouldn't be here. I would have gotten off by like a. It wouldn't even been like a cool, scary looking one, right? It would have just been like a weak ass flea that gave me like dengue fever. And I was out. Like, right? It would be like something on complete accident, not even like I can't even get a kangaroo to punch me in the face to take me
Yeah.
out. Like I gotta. Like,
Yeah, you're just walking by like a small, I don't know, Australian pond and a leech takes you out.
just out of nowhere. Like what? Not like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
But yeah, I'm with you. Sports fan, one thing. Following a team and like devoting allegiance, especially the Celtics this year, been tough. Very tough. And I don't know what the hell the playoffs are allegedly gonna look for us.
It's just this team cannot handle the playoff game and play-in game if they have to play in the playing game.
No.
They can't.
You'll get
This is
fucking
not
waxed.
absolutely like, and it's just like they need the rest. They need to practice. I feel like that's something that's not being like talked. Like teams aren't practicing playing basketball like at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that. Like these are real. Like this season has been a whole bunch of like really high level pickup games, right? Like it's like the highest possible level of pickup games because they're not practicing that much.
Yeah, it's like they just got to figure it out on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, honestly, it's just teams are winning off of pure talent and like raw talent and skill. And I mean, no
And then
coincidence,
you have
one
the
of the best.
Jazz.
Yeah, and then the Jazz somehow. I mean, the Suns are doing really well, but also they were only in the bubble for the 8-9 games, so they are pretty well rested. They didn't have to go through. Let's see. I think so that must have knocked them out of the bubble in August,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And again, obviously they got Cliff Paul, State Farm agent. Booker's
Hooping.
playing really well.
Also hooping.
Yeah.
And again, this is a team that the Celtics beat the brakes off of like what was it, like a week ago?
Yeah, and that was a good win regardless of the situation. I don't know if the the Suns were coming off of a back-to-back or anything like that. But it was like, no, the Celtics of old, aka like a month ago, would not have beaten this Suns team in their dreams.
No.
And then when they were on that streak, I was convinced. I don't know about you. Did you feel like that was a legitimate turnaround? Because
I did 100%, because I thought a lot of it was Rob really figuring out his role in the offense.
Yes.
And also understanding, being a lot more patient on defense and being able to like stick with people on switches and like not get stupid aggressive fouls early. The Philly game notwithstanding, I thought like it worked because Rob, like I think Rob would do such a great job in that Al Horford minus shooting role.
Yeah.
Right. Like you set good picks, you like distribute the ball. His vision's crazy. Like, I
he eats
thought
a lot
it
of
would
carrots.
just work. Yeah. And he was helping Jaylen and Jason get easy shots.
Yep.
Right. Because you can't peel off of him because it's a lob and it's 2 points. When people are like peeling off Luke Cornett, that's not a problem. that's totally fine.
People aren't sticking with him to get to 34 feet from the basket to make sure he's, because he's a threat.
He is a threat. It's another one of those like give me 5 to 10 like like green light Luke Cornett minutes, right? Like let like you get a 7-footer who can shoot. Let's use the spacing. Let him shoot.
Yeah.
Tell him to shoot the ball. Fuck. He's not doing anything else. Like, it's tough. I hated seeing Tice go, but it was kind of one of those like you have to let him go because like you got to start Rob, right? And you got to try and get something for Tice because he's gonna make it like he's a decent defending big who can shoot, man. Like he's gonna make some money this offseason.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He did everything that he was asked to do in his years here. He never got in anyone's way. He was so good at that.
Pretty much Bam Adebayo.
Yeah. Some people have speculated they're the same person. Yeah, that's why you never see Bulls and Heat games scheduled on the same nights.
Makes you think.
Yeah, it's so crazy how big of an effect Rob has on the offense. It just looks smooth with him out there. It's like this is what an NBA professional offense should look like because there's more ball movement. Sorry, there's more threat than from just 2 ISO players. Because we got to worry about this guy who's a factor on every possession. Because if you let him open, he's just gonna fucking dunk on you.
Yeah, and it works because like obviously like post plays dead, big mans are useless, et cetera, but like the only other post scorers we have are ISO post scorers, right? Like if you want Tristan Thompson to score, you got to let him dribble the ball into the dirt like 15 times. He's going to take a turnaround hook shot, right? Like, but Rob's game comes on the move. Like everything is part of the motion. So just the act of like having people move around is a little bit of a distraction, and you like it creates space.
Yeah.
Nobody likes getting dunked on. It's nice to have that on your team. But I don't like, he's kind of a like skinny built dude, which I really hope he gets and stays healthy because he could have a phenomenal NBA career. Like I think he's an uber talented guy. But with most of the Celtics, it's a lot of ifs. The only real concrete things are that Jaylen and Jason are good and Marcus Smart's a first team all NBA, all defense defender.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than that, it's a bunch of
who knows.
Who the fuck knows? Maybe. Like,
It's been tough. I'm gonna be interested to see like at the end of every game, they get the tough post game press conference questions, and the answers are always the same. And I'm like, dude, it's game 60. There's no more. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. We don't really have time to figure it out if we're getting down to it. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a quick exit in the playoffs, and they're gonna have to make some changes or adjustments.
the the most worrisome thing is I don't like where are those adjustments coming from? Like who like this is not a team that's going to go out and sign a big time free agent. They don't even have the a max slot for that.
Right.
In order to do that, they'd have to move Kemba, who wants to take on Kemba's contract of an aging small shoot heavy guard, right? Like, and I'm not one of the Danny Ainge squandered his assets guys, because I just think the draft is a crapshoot. You get what you get. Like, yeah, do you wish he drafted Giannis instead of Kelly Olynyk? Yeah, but like, there's no like that's such a it's a, like at that point in the lottery, it's all developmental or it's either like a developmental guy or like a really refined guy, right? Like you're not going to find like a can't miss guy. There's like, it's going to be a risk, and the risk didn't pay off. Like, I don't think it's necessarily that he squandered it, because we have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Like, I feel like people are ignoring that. You can build around that. People are going to want to play for that, but I just need Jason to tell his friends to come here, because that's the only way it's going to work.
I think he's got to figure out a way to get, since this offense is based off of there just is a lot of guys at the 3-point line, and especially when Jason or Jaylen are cooking, then there's really going to be a lot of guys at the line. We got to get better shooters, because we're relying too much on guys who just aren't great shooters for these guys to kick the ball out to when they're being doubled and whatnot. And it's like, all right, well, what do we do now? Like, yeah, of course we're going to shoot. I think last night it was 11 for 49, something absurdly.
They didn't make, in my eyes, they didn't make a single 3-point shot. Like, it
wasn't great.
And it goes back to what we were talking about with Grant Williams, right? Like, yeah, he can hit a couple of spot up threes here, but if you're asking him to shoot 6 threes a game, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
like, we're in trouble, right? Like, what? I do like how when Peyton's cooking, when PP's cooking, I do like how the offense looks.
Yeah,
I do like it. I don't want to, because I don't want to root for let the. I only have
the lighter hue.
I only have space in my heart for one or two of that style of player. Let's say. Yeah. And with Tice, like, I don't know, like, Tice leaves a big hole. Like, there's a spot to fill. It could be Peyton Pritchard's, but you got to win more games, man. This stinks.
I think he's going to be a solid rotational, like very good role player in years to come, because he definitely knocks down like open shots.
He's a good shooter. Yeah, exactly.
And he also, he is small, but he can create his own shot pretty well, usually going to the basket. I think he's honestly one of the best at going to the basket on the team, which I'm not sure is the best praise when he's 6'1" or 6'2", whatever he is. But I think he's one of the best at like finishing through contact, or he's got that Steve Nash thing in him where he dribbles down there, circles like the baseline, comes out, and either pops a 6-foot like floater, or he'll find the open guy or whatever. Either way, he's making the defense move, which isn't always the case with this team. So
yeah, you see, I love when he just like darts through the paint and comes back out, because you see the trail of like 3 or 4 people who like he's gotten their attention and they're like taking steps to him, and then he looks up. It's like, oh, open people. Let me throw it to shit. I have to throw it to Shemi Ojale. Like, though I will like, I've been a big time Shemi slanderer. I will give him his credit. Who's really improved his shooting and decreased the amount of what the fucking hell are you doing going to the rim like that Shemi plays. That like it's like I remember during the conference finals against the Heat where he was just like barreling into the lane and like double clutching, and it's just like, well, Jimmy's on your back and Bam's in front of you. I don't know what you thought you were getting yourself into here. And he did that a lot, and it just like kills momentum so much. But he
shouldn't
like
dribble.
Either you shoot it or you pass it.
Yeah.
Like
they gotta just trick him.
He yelled at his
Just be like, there's only 2 parts to the game: shooting and passing. All the cool guys, LeBron's doing it.
Clay did it.
That's true. Shout out to Clay again. Yeah. But yeah, his corner threes, he's definitely gotten better at that. And his defense is always pretty good.
Mm-hmm. He's 6 fouls. I'll tell you, like, no doubt about
it. Yeah.
Like he's like, I like to refer to, I love having him on the team because I refer to him as 6 strong fouls on Giannis. Just like, you got to beat him up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Same with if you ever just want to throw him in as small ball 5 against Embiid and just have him get run over 6 times and have 6 fouls and tire out Joel Embiid, because he's not going to make all 12 of those free throws.
No, and some of those you could convince a ref, hey, that's a charge actually.
Yeah,
that's a charge on Joel. I don't know if
that's a
he's gotten that
great defensive strategy that we have. Our number one prayer for stopping Joel Embiid is like, well, he can't make all of the shots.
Right.
You're like, he's got to get tired. He's going to go to the bench sometime, right?
I think I heard Scal say the other night too that Kemba is leading the team in charges taken, or he's up there.
Mm-hmm. He's like second in the league.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I want a guy that fragile and like with injuries and stuff. I don't know if I want this.
But it's just like, you can tell like he's worked on this. He's really goddamn good at it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, he takes a charge and the next play he goes to contest a 3 and grabs his back. You know, like, it's like, are the two related? I can't say for certain, but yeah, they're definitely related. Like
the game in Charlotte over the weekend, he was just running and then grabbed his back.
He like planted to contest and it was just like, oh no. And I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah. He didn't even look at the bench. He then immediately sprinted to the locker room. Was like, peace. I'll see you later, maybe.
And he came back, and he was the reason that they even put up a little bit of a fight at the end of the game. But it's just, you can't keep relying. Like, this isn't KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. You can't just go triple ISO and like, I would love for it to be that. It's not that.
No. There's just too many guys on this team that Dan and I have said this before, that are clearly on any other team would be roster spots 10 through 15. But on our team, they really occupy like spots 6 through 10. It's no depth.
There's too many like players who are just like guys, you know, they're fine. You know, like, when you have too much of it, just like, you know, they're fine. Like, your team becomes that. Like, you're fine. Like, you can play well. Like, if everything's going well, you can hang with a lot of people. But if one thing isn't going well, you're going to lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yep. Yeah, you lose a couple guys in the lineup, and all of a sudden you're starting Shemi, and I mean, I never know what lineup Brad's going to throw out there.
It's just like the guy whose development I think it like would have a similar presence on the wing that Rob has in the front court was Romeo, right? Like I think
Yeah.
they should like impact wise, I think they have like similar potentials, right? Like he is unbelievable defender, the highest man alive. Like
Oh yeah.
uh I think that's about it. But uh I I just like had really high hopes, like have really high hopes for Romeo. Just because he has like that certain like the similar feel that Rob has on defense, where it's just like you can't quite shake him, right? Like you might make a contested shot, but he's always there.
Yeah.
Like he's long and athletic. But there's just too many of like what ifs, maybe.
Got to stay healthy. Got to stay out of the COVID protocols. Got to be on, I hate to say it, but Brad's good side, I guess, because sometimes guys just kind of get buried for a little while for not exactly like the clearest rhyme or reason.
Yeah, like I get that Aaron Nesmith's defensive rotations are piss poor. I get it, but it's like at a certain point, man, you got a guy. The whole reason you drafted him was because he can shoot, and now you find out he's also like a really, really high level energy effort guy as well. Like, let him make the mistakes. Like everyone else, like whoever is playing in his stead is making the mistakes. So why not have the guy who shot 50% from three in college make those mistakes?
Yeah.
Um, but because like it's one of those things like, yeah, he's going to struggle early, but you let him play through the struggle. And now, like ideally, like now toward the end of the season, he would be finding his groove. It would be, but now like he never knows if he's playing. And it's just the roster construction. I guess it would make sense if all the things if in a vacuum, but the world isn't in a vacuum. But it's sad.
Yeah.
I reserve the right to change my mind about how I feel about this if they win one game. Like, if they
Yeah.
win one game, they're back, baby. Like they win tonight. Like, do you see how you see them handle that adversity of losing to the worst team in basketball?
They came back with
completely
a fire, with a fury.
completely self-made and caused adversity. See them
Yeah.
overcome that.
Yeah. And they're going to have, aside from Rob, a full roster tonight. So people are going to be like, look at this. Like when we have all the guys, like this is what we look like. But
We never have all the guys. That doesn't
yeah.
mean anything to me.
Right. Yeah. It's a meaningless statement to be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, when everyone's healthy, well, there's never a time where everyone's healthy.
Well, yeah, there isn't a time, especially because your $38 million point guard can't play back to backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That's
how
such a tough part.
not only you're not practicing, you're not playing all the games. Like how like this season stinks. Like I think I it might not just be a Celtics thing. I think even the teams at the top are not playing great basketball. Right? They're superior talents, but I don't know how many of them are playing great basketball.
Right. I think a lot of teams are winning just purely off of talent, really. Probably just, I don't know. I was going to say the better shooting teams are winning because at the end of the day, there's not
No.
exactly a ton of defense.
No. Possible. Yeah, it's a tough scene. Whatever happened last like February that like shut the world down that I can't remember. It's really like having a toll on my happiness via the shittiness of my basketball team. No one has it worse than me.
No, I think you're the only one. I'm going through it too, but I think it's just us.
I think we're the only ones who have a right to complain about anything.
Yeah. I look outside, nothing looks different from a year ago today. So
The same.
Gotta only be.
Can't imagine what happened.
We'll find out. I mean, I got this vaccination that people told me to get just in case. So
couldn't hurt.
I do feel stronger. I do feel stronger. My movements are also becoming less fluid and more kind of mechanical. So our operating system upgrades from Overlord Gates. This is great. I thank him for it. Yeah.
I wait. My Microsoft Surface is in the mail. It's on its way.
I'm getting I went on eBay and I found a couple of those Zoom MP3 players, if you remember those.
Oh shit, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The Zunes. Oh man. They tried. Bless their hearts.
Yeah. But hey, for some reason I'm more I've developed an affinity for that. So who knows? I'm not. All right. We took a brief pause there. We're back. And we've got our second special guest of the day. I'm just going to call him the chef to the stars because that's what he is. His name is Jawed. Jawed's worked with some of your favorite Boston Celtics. I think a New England Patriot currently. And you've also worked with doing some team dinners for some private team events and stuff. So I'll let you explain it, Jawed. Thanks for coming on and thanks for being with us. But yeah, man, how'd you get to do what you do and tell us exactly what you do?
Hey, thank you, Soapy. I appreciate you having me. Ashveen, thank you for making the connection. A little bit of background, the cooking and sports stuff, most people are interested in. I've, worked with Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, for the Patriots players I've worked with, both McCourty twins, great people. Deron Harmon, known him since college, him and his wife. Worked with Jeremy Hill, James White, JC Jackson. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody in Boston. But a good amount of Patriots.
That's a good list.
It's not. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, trying out here, been fortunate enough to do that, and it's also, opened up some doors for me in other avenues. So, greatly appreciative, and now I get to talk to guys like you about it. So, life's good.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I have a bunch of questions written down. Trying to think what's the first thing I'd like to ask you. I know I'm sure everyone asks you what's everyone's favorite meal, which we will get to at some point, but I was thinking the way that the way that some of the athletes describe when they know they've made it is when they've gotten to college and they're like, all right, well, here's the competition. I'm just as good as them. Like, I know that I can get to the league. When would you say you knew that it was a realistic thing to get to where you are today?
Man, that's a great question, actually. I would definitely say in college, when I started opening my eyes to a lot of fine dining in New York City. And I really was like, this food is really good. The experience is great and all that. But I feel like some of the stuff I cook at home is,
I'm kind of nice at this.
Yeah. I was already majoring in hospitality management and minoring in business at St. John's. So going to culinary school after was kind of like a natural progression.
Yep.
And once I got to culinary school, that's I'm grateful to say that I was able to survey the competition and say, if I really put my head down and work and commit myself to, attacking this kind of like a sport, then, we can get somewhere with this thing. So, but the whole working with pro athletes thing, that that kind of just came from the network from college after I really kind of made myself strongly associated with cooking and being in a fine dining world in New York City. So that really kind of just rolled into, opportunity to opportunity to like, might be able to actually make this a regular thing. And once I did, it was with my first NBA client, Kevin Seraphin, when I was he was playing on the Knicks. And it was, I really kind of set out myself to try to make that opportunity for others as well. And about a couple of years later, I was able to get my first opportunity for someone else as a pro athlete. And we've been able to, start doing a lot more of that as well this season, especially. So really grateful for the progression.
That's so sick. Question? Yeah. I have a continuing like kind of the sports analogy. Did you have a moment when you were working with a player where you were just like the meal that you made that you knew it was like your clay, like 38-point quarter, right? Like it was just everything was working 100%. Like you could like no dribbles, right? Everything just hit your hand, just like nothing but the bottom of the net. Like, was there one meal or like one like kind of like period in your professional development that like felt like I'm absolutely untouchable at this? Like, ooh.
I would say not so much a meal per se, but definitely, like you said, a period in my progression. Definitely, probably the year in between working with Kevin Seraphin and moving to Boston to initially work with Marcus, and then him putting me on FaceTime with just some kid with a flat top that spoke with him. And the rest is history with that. But I would say the year in between those two periods, I was living in Brooklyn and just really, really focusing hard on self-development and, really learning a lot about building the business the correct way, diversifying my clients so that say, things didn't go correctly in the sports world, I still had other clients in the, the general population who just had money and wanted personal chefs. For events and stuff like that. So that was good. And then really just rolling into that, I applied to NYU for a master's in food studies. I was going to, be on TV, all that good stuff. I was going to try to take Anthony Bourdain's spot. And
RIP to the realest one.
Yeah. Shout out to a legend.
Facts. Really. I would say, Bourdain, man. I'd say that's my Kobe. How a lot of people were really just heartbroken about Kobe's passing last year. That's probably how Bourdain hit me when that so yeah, he's big. He was really a big reason I got into what I was doing, but anyway, that year in New York, got into NYU, was planning on doing the TV thing, all that stuff, and then I get a call from Marcus Smart's agent, and had the conversation, told him I had a really good thing going in New York, but we just kept talking. And I always believed in Marcus as a player. I didn't really know much about him as a Celtic at the time, but I remember him from Oklahoma State. And it's great. I love seeing him. Yeah. So, you got to get one in black and orange for Oklahoma State too,
Ooh, do they make them that? Does she make them?
Hey, might have a new business on our hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just remember from Oklahoma State and how hard he played and how he really put his back and all that. And like, that was enough to pull me out of New York for a couple of years. So yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah. I was going to ask, so you're not, I assumed that you were native to this area, to New England, but you're not, so you're a native New Yorker.
Yeah. I'm from New York. I grew up in New York. I was actually born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Grew up in upstate New York, went to college at St. John's, culinary school in New York City. Really got my chops for my career in New York City, first client in New York City. And then, had a lot of connections in Boston just because growing up in upstate New York is kind of like a midpoint between Boston and New York City. So
yep,
was able to, keep some good connections.
When the Celtics play the Knicks, do you throw a little extra like heat in the hot sauce? throw Marcus and Jaylen off?
I'm not a Knicks fan at all. No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I got you.
I mean, shout out to them for playing so well. It's cool to see, New York City happy with their basketball team finally.
Yeah.
have two competitors, one major competitor, and then it's just New York City when the Knicks are playing well, it's like it's just better. So it's good to see them have that. I was at St. John's during Linsanity, so like to experience that, like it was pretty crazy. So it must be good to see the Knicks win an MSG finally. So I'm happy for them, but also looking forward to hopefully seeing them in the playoffs. So
yeah, dude.
I can't go without shouting out Tareem Zaidi TZ, who's my connection to Jawed. I think they were at St. John's together, right?
Yes, sir. My guy.
Yeah. He's been one of my best friends for the last 20, 25 years. We grew up in the same much of the community. And Sharon, I think you've been there for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean, TZ, he's a great guy, bro. Like I said, known him since St. John's. You obviously go back further than I do, but yeah, shout out to TZ, my brother TZ.
He's the best. I was actually just talking to him about New York basketball the other day, and how Kemba's one of the last of the real distinctive New York basketball players, right? His game, his game is New York, right? There's something very Bronx about how he plays.
For sure.
And I think what we're seeing with AAU and all the kids, the game's homogenizing a little bit. Everyone's got that sidestep jumper, everyone's got these little hezzies in their game, but there's something I really love about New York City basketball, right? I'm a Boston guy, but I love basketball. I appreciate basketball. There's just something really true to the game about New York City basketball that Kemba reminds me of a lot when I see it.
I will say, if you can't tell, I didn't play much basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I was more of a football player. But being around basketball in New York your entire life, you can't help but notice things. I mean, one thing, if you notice that really stood out, with Stephon Marbury and Sebastian Telfair and guys like that, these really good New York point guards. One of the reasons is kind of special team point guard is because, I mean, one, in New York City, you might not always have access to the hoop, especially if you're a kid, but you can dribble anywhere. You can work on your handle anywhere, right? You can work on passing anywhere, really. On top of that, when they are really good, they're playing with older players.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the older players don't let the younger players shoot. So they get better in real time and experience at handling, setting other people up, and all that good stuff. So I will say that's one reason that the New York City point guard really stands out. And hopefully there's some kids watching Kemba right now. And, we got a new crop coming soon, hopefully. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was trying to think. The other guy I was thinking of, kind of recent memory, is Lance Stephenson.
Yo.
He's New York to the bone.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He was at Cincinnati while I was at St. John's. I thought we were gonna get him, but he ended up leaving. So, but good, good for him. He had a really good career, solid career. Plenty of memes.
Oh, for sure.
LeBron. If LeBron respects you, you had a good career.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's literally dancing on guys. him strumming the guitar after crossing up. I think it was Jeff Green, but yeah. I mean, you almost had him because somehow Cincinnati and St. John's are both in the Big East, right?
Yeah.
Makes no fucking sense how Cincinnati.
Especially back then, the real Big East. This new Big East needs some work, but we'll get there. Yeah.
Question for you, Jawed. And maybe you've sort of answered this, but when someone's interested in working with you, like say Marcus Smart, for instance, what's the process like in terms of how you, I don't want to say prove yourself, but apply, do you have to make a meal to see if, it's something that they would like? And if so, what's the meal that you would go to?
Oh yeah. That was the process, with a couple clients of mine. And when I actually link other chefs up with other players, that's one of the things that I suggest them do as well. Just because, one, you want to see the fit of the cooking style, but also you actually get to experience, the person actually coming into your home and cooking. And
yep.
if you guys don't like each other, it's not just not
right.
So it's like, or you may not like the way their cleanliness level is at or something like that. So, it's just kind of, it's a good trial. It's good, like a first date almost. You can't get married just off online, or like Instagram, so like the trial meal, it's to me, it's necessary, especially for long-term clients. I can tell you, what did I make for Jaylen's the first meal I cooked for Jaylen? This is his second year in the league. He was just getting on the vegetarian thing, and I told him, I go, listen, man, I was already, working with Marcus at the time. Like Marcus, like amazingly introduced me to him. He didn't have to do that. He linked that up, and like, I'm forever grateful to him for that. And I told him, listen, man, if you like it, you can hire me. If not, pay me back for the groceries. And we never met. Right. So what did I cook for him? I know there was definitely some, I made candy yams, but I made it with coconut oil rather than butter, maple syrup rather than brown sugar, and like real Tahitian vanilla, and just like kind of use like real ingredients for a classic soul food dish, but made it vegan. And just something like that. I felt like I feel like that's more of a common thing now, but 3-4 years ago, that was kind of, I don't know if many people had, experienced something like that before, and, just like the vibes and stuff like that. And it just worked. And that's really how most of them go. I'll say that, I've talked to other players that have, worked with chefs and other chefs that have worked with players, and they basically describe it kind of the same way. So it's kind of a try and true way. It's old school. It's something that as I've worked on scaling up my business, I realize it can't really be streamlined. If there's someone listening that knows how to streamline, you can email me.
Yeah, hit him up.
I love hearing it from smart people. But so far, that's been kind of the tried and true way to make sure it's a match for long-term clients.
Yeah, it sounds like basically, in the beginning, always put your best foot forward, but like it's really no nonsense. Like, let's figure out if this is going to be a good fit, and then when you guys are eventually working together, that's when you can. When Ashfeen referred to the clay performance from earlier, that's when you can start pulling up from 50. You start throwing salt like over your shoulder, from over the counter.
Hey, man.
Like, yeah, I'm nice with this, so I can do this.
Okay, I see you. Oh man, no, I usually keep the salt above the pot. Honestly, more like I stir the pot like James Harden. I'm not really shooting.
There we go.
Like clay, but I would say that's the comfort level grows. It's just like any professional relationship. In my opinion, when working with pro athletes, the last thing you want to do is come in and try to act like their best friend day one. It's
right.
They got enough people trying to do that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just in my opinion, it's kind of insincere. So yeah, that's not the route I take. No. So yeah.
Cool, man. That's it's such a unique thing to hear about. But I know Ashfeen had a question about what's everyone's favorite meal. So
that wasn't all right. I guess I'm
just gonna give you that question.
I gotta think of how to spin this so it doesn't sound like, hey, what's
I mean, is that what you want to ask me? What's everyone's favorite meal?
Yeah, what like what do players' preferences for their like favorite meal change like based on like, hey, I had like a tough game, like I need like X amount, like, or are they like super ritualistic? And then also, what's their favorite food?
Oh yeah, I would say with the like the eating by mood, I would say kind of everyone has that. Every person, in my opinion, except for the obviously ultra disciplined people. Which, shout out.
Not here. You won't find that here.
But I feel like everyone kind of will fluctuate what they eat by their mood. Honestly, it doesn't have to be pro athlete or not. And then what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry.
What's everyone's favorite meal?
That was the third part. If you can't tell, I'm avoiding that part. But go ahead.
Okay. I guess I'm more interested in like the wild fluctuation, right? Like everyone like has different moods, but is it almost like completely different, like like region of cuisine? Like if someone loses, they want like get me whatever you can make that's like Thai. Like get me like a whole bunch of Thai food.
For sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely have people with different tastes. Like, I mean, for instance, there were some things that I could cook for, use Marcus and Jaylen. Like, there's something I could cook for Jaylen. If I were, to put it in front of Marcus at one point, he would kind of be like, where's the rest of the meal? Because it would be vegetarian. And that's really anyone who eats meat at the time. Whereas, if I'm cooking something for Marcus that I'm cooking for Jaylen could be like, hey, my fitness goals are different and I can take more carbs or more higher fat or something like that. And frankly, Jaylen basically, he can eat whatever he wants to eat, basically. This dude is an absolute, workhorse, and he takes advantage of it. He has his cake and eats it too, but he also works it off. So, he's blessed. But yeah. As for everyone's favorite meal, I mean, that really changes. And I really hate answering that question. I gotta be real.
I have a better version of that question. What's the without naming any names, what's the most outlandish favorite meal that you've encountered? Like someone wants like an M&M smoothie, or like an M&M and jelly bean smoothie or something. It's like, I have to have this. Like, what's someone's most ridiculous favorite thing that they have to have that they demand that you make? Maybe not demand. That might be strong. Like request that you make.
I haven't had any too really outlandish requests. Honestly, maybe I don't give off that vibe. I don't know.
No peanut butter and tuna requests.
Never.
What?
I haven't had the fortune of working for a pregnant person yet. So haven't had peanut butter and tuna yet. No.
We need to get you in front of some NFL offensive linemen. I think that might change it.
Hey, that would be great. Actually, the nutritionist that first kind of interviewed me with the Celtics when I was still living in New York and was considering coming here, he's with the Patriots now. So it might be a possibility. And I hear he's got all those linemen making weight every week. So Johan must be doing something right.
Jawed, so obviously you do like the meals right then and there, but do the guys ask you to do meal prep for them in advance?
Yeah, actually during COVID, that's been the main route we've gone for most of the players I work with. So yeah, meal prep, especially in the past year, that's really been the go-to. And I thought I wouldn't like it at first, but actually, it's actually opened up a lot of time for me to, pursue other things outside of cooking. So it's great to have, clients that are, willing to roll with the punches and all that. And so the meal prep is cool. I've really I'd say delivered every type of food delivery method you could have done, whether it be meal prep, fresh meal, leaving something on a heater, whatever, catering, buffet style, family style, all that. I feel like I've probably touched all those bases between all the different clients I've worked with. So yeah, grateful to have, people who are willing to roll with the punches and, choose to continue to work with me on something than, say, oh, we never worked with this person on this before, let's go to this route because, they have it on their Instagram or something. So I'm great. I'm very grateful for the people that I've, had the fortune of working with in my past and present. So yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you're kind of like the one stop where they would consider whatever, just because they work with you and they trust the relationship.
Yeah. Thank you. I you'd have to ask them, but I like to think, yeah, that's the case. Yes.
I was looking at,
I was I'm really interested to hear about kind of your business ventures on the side, like or what you're picking up. We talked briefly about NFTs before we got on here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a part of what you're looking into, your portfolio that you're building. But I'm really interested to see how like the kind of like the creative juices that you used to like build this part of your career that's obviously still building, and how you're like applying it to like the rest of your business ventures. That's really interesting to me. I would love to hear more about it.
I appreciate that question, Cash Fiend. Or is it Cash Fiend or Cash Fiend?
Cash Fiend, but I mean, you can like the whole point is that it sounds like Cash Fiend, right?
Hey,
Like,
I got you, man. Same brand, same brand. Yeah, so I mean, with the, plenty of side projects working on. Grateful, like I said, with the cooking things and being able to kind of transfer some of the tools I use to gain success in that lane to other lanes, and the network I've built up. Well, the whole path along the way. Yeah, it's opened up a lot of doors. Like you mentioned before, NFTs. I'm big on NFTs. I like strongly suggest, especially people into sports and like no sports. It's really, you finally have an opportunity to monetize your sports knowledge. You have an opportunity to monetize sports memorabilia again. I feel like that wasn't really a thing for at least our adult lives. That is a thing now, and with NFTs and connecting things to blockchain technology, which basically acts as a ledger. So there's always confirmed, how do I put it, like a trail of ownership. You always know who did, what price it was bought or sold at, and what commission the original artist lists it at, and they actually earn those commissions in perpetuity, similar to royalties. But it just makes the entry point for that much lower than it had been before, where you kind of had to be assigned to a big label or just know how to go independent with whatever your art was. Where now you're really democratizing it with NFTs. That's kind of on the general level. On the big level, obviously, most people have heard like NBA Top Shots and all that good stuff. Hearing about like Ja Morant dunks going for 200,000, LeBron James stuff going for $250,000, all that good stuff. Like that's the beginning of it, but I feel like that's really like surface level. The blockchain technology stuff goes really deep, but specifically with like sports memorabilia, like for instance, Soapy, like what you got in the background over there, bro? I see a Larry Bird jersey.
You got the Bird jersey, some old hats. Yeah, just some, I don't know, some nonsense. But how much I got back here? There's like 2 million at least.
Hey man, I mean, if you connect to NFT, market it correctly, you maybe in perpetuity, eventually 2 million, but that's the beauty of NFTs. Really, it's not the first purchase. You make money on every purchase. So, for instance, with chefs, one of the missions I went out on with chefs is I felt like chefs should be paid more. Chefs should have kind of more of a higher standing in society. That's one of the reasons I wanted to associate myself with pro athletes in my career, to kind of open that up for other chefs. So another way with NFTs is, there's a couple websites out there now where you can basically connect your recipes to NFTs. People can purchase your recipes, resell them, and all that. And it just makes like another way for chefs to monetize their intellectual property. But it can be done with any type of creator. It could be podcasters, really anything. So yeah, that's really why I like NFTs so much. And I'm fortunate enough to be working with some pretty successful chefs in New York City and a publicly traded NFT company on some stuff for charity, hopefully in the next coming months. So it's really exciting stuff. That's the NFTs, but we can talk about that stuff for days because I feel like that's the future of monetizing art, and artists really haven't been able to monetize their art while they're alive since the beginning of time. So it's a game changer for sure.
Was that an exclusive drop for the Morse Code podcast? Did we just learn something that no one else knows about your little project coming up? No real details.
I would say on a public platform, yeah, I would say so. People who know me know working on. I like to be open about my projects and goals, so that it helps me stay accountable. So. Yeah.
Do you think you'll do that with recipes like you were talking about?
Yes, for that's the plan. That's the
Yeah.
plan. Recipes, maybe like some videos of like food getting plated or photos, something like that to go with it.
That's
Really
so sick.
with the experience. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I
That's so sick.
yeah. So we'll see. Just trying to get some chefs paid and some charities paid as well. So.
Do you have any specific recipes in mind, or not really? Not really a preference.
Yeah, I mean, not really a preference right now. It's really more about, I'd say, telling a story with the
Yeah.
series that you kind of release more so than like you get like a specific recipe. And I feel like there are significantly more successful, and I feel like my success in the food world is really more with getting chefs paid and opening up lanes more so than like the actual food I put on a plate. Whereas
Yeah.
there's chefs out there who really, they change the way the world looks at food. And I feel like they should be celebrated, and they should monetize their intellectual property. And as much as my recipes, they may go as NFTs. That'd be very humbling, of course. That's obviously what any chef would want. But there are some really really talented chefs out there where they put their IP out there to be monetized. They can really do some things for them financially. So that's the goal.
That's awesome. It's awesome, dude. I was actually watching I was stalking your Instagram last night, trying to do some research. I do have to say, one of the videos that you put out, I think it was over the summer, the chicken shawarma wrap.
Mm.
That looks phenomenal. I don't have a follow-up question, but that looks fucking phenomenal. I was like, shit, that looks really good. Because that was it has like a post-game snack, if I had it right.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of like this. That's going back to like a story you would tell with NFTs. That was kind of the story we were telling with Celtics Media on that series. Was pre-game meal, post-game meal, recovery day meal, and what was the fourth one?
I think there was a cheat day meal, wasn't there?
There may have been.
I think there was. I can't remember what the actual dish was, but I'm pretty sure there was.
I've been turning down most, like me cooking on camera related content. But if anyone ever asked me to do a cheat day meal, I'd do it. I'd do it. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, everything looked delicious on your page. You also had, were you there for the video when it looked like some sort of banquet event with Marcus, Jaylen, and a couple other guys, but it's the famous video of Marcus dancing?
Yes. It was at the Juice event last October.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jaylen's foundation. I was there.
The Celtics all looked like they were having the best time.
Oh yeah,
the best possible time anyone could have. They looked like they were. It was. I wish I were there.
It was a good time. And money was generated for charity. It's a win-win.
But that sounds unbelievable.
That was a good time. And Marcus can move. As anyone watching the Celtics knows, Marcus can move. So yeah.
Celtics Twitter loves that video. Like I'm pretty sure Stool Greeny posts that video pretty often. So it's like that's a big video in Celtics Twitter.
I love that. And I'm happy you point that out. And it really goes back to what we were talking about with NFTs.
Look at this man connecting dots.
Yeah.
If that's an NFT, whoever took that video, whether it was me, maybe it was somebody else, they're getting paid every time that video is getting ran, every time a Barstool account retweets it, all that, and it could be where Marcus gets paid off of it, the Juice Foundation gets paid off of it, and the person who took the video gets paid off of it. That's the power of NFTs and really making a ledger for ownership and transactions. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Sophie. Yeah, it was perfect circle.
Full circle. Yeah, that's what we do here on this show. We paint a picture.
Hey.
And we fill in the pieces. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at your Instagram. It was so cool to see the different stuff you make, and clearly where your work has taken you. Kind of, I mean, this is getting to like the foundation of it a little bit, going backwards, but do you use all your own supplies in terms of your equipment and cookware, and I assume you shop and you get the groceries exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely, you know, you got to pick your ingredients. I'm big on ingredients. Going back to how, you know, I'm very confident in my cooking skills, and I know, you know, the people I learned from throughout culinary school, the Michelin star restaurants I worked at, all that good stuff. Like I definitely am very confident in my skills. But one thing, you know, that I also am very I find very important is not getting in the way of good ingredients, letting good ingredients speak for themselves. You know, there are a lot of hardworking farmers out there and a lot of hardworking people that, you know, get that produce to grocery stores, and then hardworking people to shelve those groceries and have them look all fresh and colorful for you and all that good stuff. And you get to take them home and, you know, pursue what you want to do with them. So I definitely respect the ingredients I use. It's big to me. And yeah, did I answer that question? What was the rest of the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just asking you if you also use all your own like cookware too.
Yeah.
Like, is it always your stuff?
It's wherever I'm cooking at. I usually use their stuff unless they tell me there might be something that's not available. But yeah, I usually just use whatever tools are available. You know, whatever. Yeah, it's. I'm fortunate where, you know, basically everywhere I'm cooking it's a nice kitchen for the most part. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna ask as a follow-up if any of those kitchens had like kind of like you were like, man, what the hell is this? Why doesn't the pan have a bottom on it? You know, anyone?
How come this blender doesn't have blades?
Yeah, no, I will say when I first got started doing private chef events in Brooklyn, I was in downtown Brooklyn in this brown store, and this was like 2014, 15, and I pulled out a drawer in the kitchen, and it was the facing was like a regular drawer. I know these are common now, but at the time, the face was like a regular drawer, and when you opened it, it was like a restaurant quality refrigerated drawer on one side, and then like a heated restaurant quality refrigerated drawer on the other side, like just chilling in the kitchen in a drawer, and then above it was like a drawer acting as a microwave, and my mind was blown at the time. I got to be honest with you, but now it's kind of common stuff in more modern homes. But at the time, I was like, hey, shout out to these people. They did their thing. You know, yeah. But I would say that was probably the most interesting. Like, but you know, during the culinary school that I went to was highly accredited, and I'll say they exposed us to basically every type of equipment you'd run into, whether it be in a restaurant or at home, unless you're like really diving deep into a certain type of culture or cuisine where they just have, you know, culture specific tools. So, yeah.
I got a specific meal question then in this case. What's of the things that you make, what would you consider the best cheap meal?
Man. Oh man.
Nicely done, Sophie.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you. Professional.
Good. That was good. What number episode is this?
This is 106.
Oh, you come on, bro. That was nice.
Thank you.
Let me think, man. A good cheat day meal.
I almost want to pull up your Instagram and look up that one that I saw yesterday, because I thought it was like, no, I'm going to get it completely wrong. For some reason, I thought it was like fried bananas or something. I know it wasn't that, but.
No, it wasn't that.
No, he's like, no, off top. Absolutely not.
Definitely was not that.
I'm positive it wasn't that. Oh man.
I'm fasting right now, so this whole conversation is killing me, bro.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I feel you. Hey. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Good cheat day meal. Here's the thing. When it's like, I would say probably fried chicken, man. Like,
oh, fuck yeah.
Like, let's not try getting sophisticated here, you know? Fried chicken. Like, and if the person's vegetarian or vegan, I make a good, like, you know, I can take like Beyond Meat and kind of just treat it like I would fried chicken. And those are pretty fire too. So fried chicken or a vegan version of fried chicken, I'd say probably the best cheat meal.
I know what I'm having for iftar today. I'll make fried chicken today. I've been having a hard time in the air fryer getting like the wet and the dry batter to stay together.
Mm-hmm.
And they like the flour cake. Like I'm not good at this.
I will say, if you bread your chicken like far in advance of frying it, like for instance, say if you're at home today, you're fasting, obviously gloved up.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Bread your chicken, and then you can fry it. Like 30 minutes before iftar, even an hour before iftar. And leave it in the oven at like 300 degrees, and it'll be good and crispy for you. Yeah.
All right.
But the longer you have your breading on your chicken, it gets like dry and crispy, and just like as if it were fried. So when you drop it in the fryer, it'll be good and crunchy for you.
Okay. Oh, you're the best. You just changed like. My wife is gonna be so happy. She hate my soggy ass chicken. So mad.
Crunchy chicken only.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I have someone who does the vegan meal prep for me. So just every few days she'll drop off 4 days worth of food, and it's like a few meals and a few snacks. But now you got me reconsidering. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm going to send you this Instagram picture. Let me know if this is possible.
I'm sure she kills it though. I mean, actually, if you want to, you have my Instagram?
I do.
Yeah, send me her profile, and I'll put it on my Instagram story. Try to show her some love.
Oh, damn. I appreciate it, dude. I know she would love that.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. This is what we do. We build together on this show.
Got to. Group economics.
Build group epic. That's so true. It's just every time I hear that phrase, all I can think about is Andre Iguodala's jersey, and just like what?
Oh, you don't just think of the number 28?
No. It's group economics. It takes the whole back.
Yeah.
Anything's better than Gordon Hayward with the education reform.
The worst picture was the chase down block he had on somebody whose jersey said Black Lives Matter on the back. It's just not a great image for Gordon Hayward.
Interesting juxtaposition, but
Gordon's a great guy though. He's straight class.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
Yeah.
Like the way the person like who tweeted about it was just like something about this feels racist.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get you out of here on this final question because I know we're coming up on time. If I came to you, Jawed, actually no, we'll just put it into a real world situation. If Marcus Smart came to you and was like, "Hey man, it's game 7 tonight. I got no messing around. I'm going to be diving around on the floor for loose balls, just as I always do, but even more so tonight. I'm going to need to bring the juice tonight. Like, what do you say? All right, here's what I got. Here's what I'm thinking of for you for dinner."
I mean, in a situation,
just go with the usual.
Yeah, I mean, a situation like that, there would probably be something that's not brand new.
Yeah.
With any player, but yeah, really, sometimes people request things. Sometimes a lot of people like can't eat before big games, is what I've noticed. But yeah, it's everyone's different. Everyone's different. But yeah, big game. I think it's really, really more about just getting something that's going to stay light, not going to slow anybody down and all that. Yep. I would love to think I'm affecting their play, but I really think that's more on their preparation and what they do to take care of things on the court. So
you're far too humble, Joe.
I was gonna say I did not.
Do you understand?
Humility was allowed on this show. What's going on there?
We were just talking about the impact that like food has on your storytelling abilities. You mean to tell me you don't think that applies to how it affects the players that you feed? Like that's.
I would say if anything, I'm not even trying to be humble right now, but I really feel like if anything, if you cook the wrong thing, you can kind of get in the way more so than cooking the right thing. Like, making them play better. I really feel like if you give them the wrong thing, that could hinder things. So, it's really just about consistency and, knowing your situation and, sticking to the game plan. So, yeah, that's what I'll say.
One last question. So do you have like a signature like celebration or like a plating, like a special like flourish you do? Like, like Dion has his like high step, like step
Like
like
Emerald's Bam.
yeah, like something like that, like or maybe you like give the plate a quick spin in front of somebody, it like spins counterclockwise exactly 4 times. I don't know, like what.
If you were to ask Jaylen, he'd probably laugh and just say, appreciate you. Because that's basically what I do every time I put a plate in front of somebody. They say, oh, thank you. And I just say, appreciate you back. And so used to that, it's kind of comical at this point. So appreciate you is my bam.
I like that. It's simple.
I like that better than bam.
Yeah, you get to say thank you a bunch of times in one day. So it's nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
I like it.
Well, Jawed, I really appreciate your time, man. And Cashin, I appreciate your time and helping us put this together. Before we get you out of here, can you tell everyone? I mean, you work with a bunch of players. You've done the dinners for teams. But can you tell everyone where to find you on social and the business ventures you're in?
Great, thank you. Yeah, definitely. You can find me on social media at my first name, last name, at JAWED HALEPOTA. You can find my website, www.ballerfood.com. And really, everything kind of stems from my Instagram. That's literally my digital business card. So you can go there and go from there. And I appreciate you. Ashfeen, for making the connection. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak, my brother.
Enjoy Iftar. And Sophie, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you. And maybe start connecting some of that memorabilia to the blockchain and run it up.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. But yeah, we'll be sure to put the notes, put the links to your social in the notes too. So everyone check that out. Food looks fucking amazing. So support them. I always like supporting the local guys too. So that's dope.
Appreciate you. And definitely send me the vegan meal prep Instagram as well. I'll put her on my Instagram.
Will do, man. Will do. Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
All right, boys. Peace.